Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com, and I'm in Tuscany region in Italy. Thought I'd do a video about the F-bomb, about fuck. I haven't really done a bit of a video about fuck. So, I was watching I was reading an article, I think on Hacker News or something, called Just Fucking Sue Me. And I think it was starred out even. It was kind of interesting. But there was some commenter in this, you know, on the post, and he was like, I like your post. I'd really like to share it, but it's just, you know, I can't believe you used the F-bomb in it, and it's just so sad that you'd use the F-bomb, and that makes it not good or something like that. I don't know what he was saying, but I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, well, what does the F-bomb mean? Does that mean fuck? Oh, it does. So let me get this straight. If I say fuck, that's bad. If I say fuck, what happens is that God from up above, he's like, did he just say fuck? What? I can't believe he just said fuck. What a fucking motherfucker. I can't believe that fucker just said fuck. Right? But if I'm all high and mighty and I take the moralistic high ground and I say F-bomb, that's okay. That's okay. Because F-bomb is just meta. It's just talking about fuck. But it's not actually saying fuck. It's meta. You know, it's talking about it. So I can just use F-bomb, or, you know, I can use explicitives with, as long as I like censor out the letters, right, or beep them out, then even though I'm communicating the exact same meaning, it's okay because it didn't make those sounds. Because those sacred sounds, you know, the uck part of fuck, the F is okay. Like the f, that's fine, right? Fine. But uck, right? Duck is okay, but fuck no. Oh, some of you guys ask me too, you know, in my videos, you're like, John, your videos are great and everything, but why do you use profanity in your videos? And I just don't like it. It's not good. And, you know, a lot of people have pleaded with me to stop using profanity in my videos, and I don't have any like particular reason why. Like I'm not like, oh, I need to do this just to show people that I can use profanity in my videos. I don't use it, you know, unless I feel like it. But my point is, I think it's already kind of been made, but really? Like, think about this, right? I mean, who brainwashed you to think that certain words are okay and certain words are not okay? But if you censor those words and you say F-bomb, or you say shit in German, if you say Scheiße, that's okay. But not to say fuck, not to say shit. It just seems really really strange when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it that, you know, I mean, people make all kinds of arguments and they say, well, it's crass. It's vulgar language. An educated person has a larger vocabulary. Well, you know, I'm sure. But what if you have as large of a vocabulary as someone who doesn't use profanity, but then you've got profanity as well? So then I guess my vocabulary would be as large as that person plus 5 words. So that would make me more expressive. I mean, I'd have a larger vocabulary than that person would. So again, I'm not saying this to judge. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's cool. But sometimes it's, you know, the reason why I even bring this up at all is sometimes it's worth kind of re-examining some of these core beliefs. Like, why do we think this? Who taught us this, right? Does God really looking down from heaven? I mean, for those of you that are religious, that says, and he's saying, oh, that, I can't believe that this John guy, he just keeps on saying fuck. I'm gonna fucking zap him with lightning. Oh, shit, I said it. I'm gonna zap him with lightning. That motherfucker. I don't think so. I don't think that's happening. I can't imagine that some deity would really care what words, what sounds you're making with your mouth. It may be the intent, you could say, but in that case, if you're saying F-bomb, you're just as worthy as, you're just as ripe for a lightning strike as someone who actually says fuck, right? So does that make sense, right? I mean, you're saying the word, right? You're basically, or you're indicating the meaning. So, I don't know, you can make some arguments, of course, but I think I'm just going to stick to just saying whatever I want to say, and not really give a shit about what other people think about that. Now, I'm not going to just explicitly use explicitives, just like I wouldn't use y'all, except that, you know, there's some instances where I say y'all, but I just don't use that a lot, or ain't. I'm not going to use ain't that much, but yeah, it's just interesting as I think about this. You know, the real interesting one too is like the N word. Like, people are like, oh, they got all upset when someone says nigger, and man, really, seriously, like, what does that have to? I mean, it's even like, what? but all the time people say the N word. Very strange, right? Now, I don't condone calling people names. I don't condone calling people potentially, you know, racial slurs and whatnot, but I don't think vocabulary and language should be off limits. It doesn't make much sense to me, and it more than anything, it indicates a closed, like a limited mind, and an inability, like a person that is very restricted by language. Now, there's some social norms, and obviously I'm not going to be, you know, swearing like a fucking sailor on, you know, walking down the street, you know, across, you know, down in front of the church with a bunch of people coming out of Sunday school, yeah, just out of politeness, right? Because, you know, I realize that people have these inhibitions and weird kind of concepts around words, so I'm not going to purposely offend people. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, but when I think about people that have real serious problems with vocabulary and using certain words, I really have to think that, and it's not to be mean. I'm trying to be mean to these people. I mean, there's a lot of you that fall into that category, and I like some of you. I do. No, seriously. But what I'm saying is that it does speak to me that you've got some hang-ups in your life. You're like holding on to some things. You're believing some things that are superstitious, right? It's superstition. Let's call it what it is, right? Worrying about profanity in certain words is superstition. It's believing some supernatural cause for something, or attributing something supernaturally to it, right? It's not grounded in reason and logic. So when I see someone that has a real problem with that and tries to correct other people, I think, okay, this person, at least in some part, in a large part of their life, has to be being influenced by so much by what other people think, by social norms, not using their own brain and their own mind to come up with what actions are okay and appropriate to them. And I did this video on like kind of rule following and being a rule follower. Not the best video ever, but you know, but the point is really that we got to break out of this, right? We got to break out of these molds and these beliefs that that what other people tell us to do and what other people tell us is right is what we need to follow. We need to use our own brain and use our own logic and go with our own judgments. Trust yourself, right? You know, I think I did a video where someone was asking, like, they're kind of stuck, and I said the advice here was to you know, stop reading philosophy so much and become the philosopher, right? And you sort of have to become the philosopher of your own life. So you can totally disagree with what I'm saying, which is totally fine, but use your own philosophy to determine that, and then use that to guide your own life. But don't just, like, you know, have some kind of religious dogma. It doesn't have to be religious, or just moral high ground or conviction that someone else has given you, that has told you that these things are wrong. And I bring this up in terms of profanity, but obviously that's not what I'm talking about here, right? I'm talking about a bigger scope of things, of just everything, right? I mean, you really have to question, why do you do the things that you do? Why do you think that certain things are wrong or inappropriate? And, you know, do you really want to live your life with those constraints? And to me, like I said, the issue for using profanity in these videos and whatnot has nothing to do with me. I don't know. The only thing it has to do with, let's put it that way, is that I'm not going to live by any kind of constraints or fucking rules that tell me how I'm going to talk, or what I'm going to say, or what's the appropriate word to say, or if I can say F-bomb or fuck. But that's it. So there you go. For those of you that are still wondering if someday I'll just clean up my YouTube act and not use profanity, don't fucking hold your breath. Let's put it that way. All right. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the unsubscribe button if you just had too many F-bombs for you. Put that a little gently for you guys. And click the bell if you just want to hear me cussing like a sailor whenever I get the chance. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.